Hey, welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Hopefully you're having a great week. It is Thursday morning, and today we're going to talk about the thing that everybody's been hounding me about, a certain driver. But before we do, just want to let you know this episode is brought to you by Titleist and the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls. How does the best get better? Well, we're going to find out because now there is a new Pro V1 and Pro V1X. The original launch of the Pro V1 was in 2000, so this marks the 25th anniversary of the Pro V1. Titleist R&D asked players what they wanted in the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X, and they said more spin on scoring shots into the green. R&D delivered as both models give players increased spin. They also provide more speed off the tee and more control with irons. Many on tour are already teeing up the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X, including Ludwig Aberg, Wyndham Clark, and Will Zalatoris. The new Pro V1 is a great fit for most players and a great place to start your golf ball fitting process. Compared to the Pro V1, the new Pro V1X is a higher flight and a firmer feel. And there's also a Pro V1X left dash if you're looking for a flight similar to Pro V1X, but with much lower full swing spin and a firmer feel. I'm a Pro V1X guy. I love the higher flight. I love that added spin, better descent angle into the green. Just stops a little bit better. So I'm a Pro V1X guy. But visit Titleist.com for everything there is to know about the new Pro V1 and Pro V1X and Pro V1X left dash now. So hopefully you guys are having a good week. It is Thursday. We're back at it. I'm hoping, I'm recording this Wednesday night, but hoping that today the weather holds here in Metro Detroit and I can go play week 3 of the league because right now the weather looks like it could be a little wet. And if it's raining hard or whatever, we won't play, especially if it's raining like as we tee off. But if it's not raining or just maybe sprinkling when we are supposed to tee off, usually myself and a couple other diehard guys will go out and play. So I will bust out. I've got the Galvin Green Ames rain jacket. I got some FootJoy rain pants. And my Moto Caddy has an umbrella holder. So usually I'm pretty good as long as it's not crazy windy with some rain. I can get out there and do all right. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping that we get week 3 in. Before we get into the LA Golf Driver, which I know so many of you are waiting for, so many people have been hitting me up about it and asking me about it, that I'm excited to bring this show because a lot of people want to know about it. But before we do, talk a little bit about league. I played well. I shot 37. I should have shot 36, 37. I made bogey we played the back 9 to the 18th hole. Hit a really good 7-wood down the middle. And then I hit a... my back 9. So yeah, hit a pretty good 7-wood down the middle, or just left side of the fairway. Had an easy little shot in. I think I had like 140 into the green. Hit a solid 9-iron that actually went a little longer than I thought, but I pulled it just a touch left. So I just had to like 2-putt just slightly off the fringe, so about 20 feet or so. And I got really tentative going downhill with that first putt, left it a little short, and then the 3-footer, which I'd made a bunch of 3-footers all day for par. I literally left the face open. It was like one of those, as soon as the putter got to the ball, like I could see it, I knew, and it just burned that right edge and went by. And I was like, oh man, it's such a bummer. But other than that, played really well. I was like a quarter turn of a ball falling in for eagle on the par 5. So I made, a tap in par there, or a tap in birdie there. But it was overall pretty good. I hit the ball fairly solid. A couple shots that weren't amazing, but I was able to either get up and down from it, or at least get close up and down from it, or find a way to get it on the green or near the green. So overall, played pretty well. The what's in the bag was pretty solid. If you go over to the main Golf Paradox YouTube channel, you will see week 3. What's in the bag? So it's all 14 new clubs, ball, rangefinder. The only thing I didn't switch out was bag and the Moto Caddy M7 remote because I don't have anything to swap those out with. But you can go see it over there and see what I'm playing this week. So excited for league, and yeah, let's jump into it. So we're going with today. Finally, after everyone's been waiting, I've heard there's not a lot out here on that, or at least that's what people have told me. But we're going to talk about the brand new LA Golf Driver. So a pretty interesting piece there, the LA Golf Driver. As I'm, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see me holding it up. Just search Club Junkie or Golf Paradox Radio. But you can see this thing here. Pretty unique little sole design. The sole is completely blank. In terms of void of like depressions or, crazy little lines or anything like that. It just has the LA Golf text logo over and over and over again at about a 45-degree angle. So pretty interesting there. There's a little weight down in the heel, which I'm going to say that is used for swing weight purposes, depending on your build. And then there's not much else. The markings on the bottom. I have the 12-11 head, which is a 10.5 head. This is the, I believe, second slowest in a sense. This is the one for recommended for 90 to 109 mile an hour club head speeds. So that is pretty much me right now. Right now, I actually was hitting some balls on the monitor or on my launch monitor, my net in the backyard just the other day. And, 102 is where I'm sitting at. Not to lie, I have been, working out a little bit. So I'm sitting at 102 at the moment, which I know is down from my, previous 105-ish type swings. But overall, I think the look of this driver is good. I know people have been knocking the sole, saying it looks cheap, whatever. I give LA Golf props. It's something different, and honestly, the sole of the club, I don't care. I don't see it. When I set I see it for the 2 seconds when I take the head cover off and then I set it down, and all I see is the top. And if you're talking about the top, completely matte black, and the alignment line is just a little gloss black LA Golf text. So extremely simple, very, very understated, not going to be distracting in any way. I think the shape is pretty good. Little stretched from face to back. It's a little triangular, but overall, I think it's a good-looking shape. It's pretty classic. There's nothing too crazy going on with it. And the face is, I would say, of average depth. I don't think it's too crazy deep. It's definitely, I think, less on the shallow side. So overall, it's got a little bit kind of like this micro texture etched into it with some scoring lines. And yeah, this one here. So this one compared to the one before, which I think is the 1312 or something like that, they all have different kind of unique things. This one supposedly has a little more bulge and roll. So if you don't know, bulge and roll is kind of the way the face curves. So the bulge is kind of when you look down on it, the top line, how much curvature is there. And then the roll is if you look at the loft, how much kind of arc or curvature is on that. So what they're trying to do is basically create a bulge and roll system that works for players of a certain club head speed. So evidently their research is showing that players who swing it faster or slower create different types of spin and different kinds of launch conditions, so they're adjusting this to go with it. I think it's pretty unique. Bulge and roll is by far not a new idea. It's been around for a long, long time on woods, and bulge and roll for performance is definitely been around for a while too. I mean, twist face, everybody kind of does their own little way about it. But, it's kind of interesting that LA Golf is doing it based on a club head speed range. I think at least is showing that they're doing something different. They're not just putting out a driver and saying, hey, here you go. There's nothing to it. It's got a story and there's something unique. So I got to fit into this, or not fit. I did the online, Face ID quiz. So they kind of ask you about your game, how you hit the ball, right-handed, left-handed, your club head speed, how far you hit clubs, whatever. They've got a bunch of questions in there that basically ask about drivers. So I went and did that. The only downside, which I don't love, is that in order to get your results, you have to put your email address in. And when I put my email address in, it didn't even email me the results. It basically sent it to LA Golf, and then I didn't see anything. And then they, the people in media contacted me and said, hey, we got your thing and all that. So I don't know how the system really works, but it would be cool to. I understand they want to collect your email address, but I think it would be nice if you at least still got the results. Like just email them and say, hey, here's the driver that we kind of suggest. I think they want to have somebody contact you to maybe work in a little bit more detail and maybe see if you should have something different. So anyway, did that. Now on the website, if you were to go in and just pick a driver to buy, you do have a few shaft options. Like I said, mine's a 12-1. It just basically has a loft range of 9 to 12 degrees. It's got a pretty, I would say, PXG/ping looking tip on it in a way. Now the edges where it goes into the head are a little more aggressive, but basically it's got a standard setting, and then it looks to have like a 1 degree and a 1.5 degree, or maybe it's 0.75 and 1.5 degree up and down. So it's got about 3 degrees. Now it does have the unmarked side, which looks to be, if you look at the shaft, just hold it up in the air, it looks like those will be flat settings. I don't understand why like them and like PXG doesn't mark it either. It's just called like the PXG setting. I think Ping used to have it not marked. Their new one does label it flat, but not why not put all the markings on the shaft tip? Because it would be nice to be able to know what it is. And also, when you go on their website, I have yet to find that their adjustment chart is there yet. So anyway, it's a 10.5 head marked. It'll go down to 9 up to 12. And then it's got a couple settings in between. So not sure exactly what the standard type settings up and down do to lie angle. It looks when you go like you go lower, it may go a little bit flat. And then from standard, it looks to have a flat setting as well. The other interesting thing is in the standard mode, standard setting, when you put it in there, it is installed logo up for the shaft, which is definitely interesting. Most stuff installs logo down. This one goes logo up when you're in the standard position. I don't love that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Let's be honest. I mean, shafts have graphics, whatever, but it is logo up on there. So the shaft that I got put into when I answered all my questions and everything is the LA Golf A Series. This is the A Series mid 60 gram in stiff flex. So I like what they do say. That I like what they did with this A Series is that up near the handle, there's a little circle that has an A in it. Okay, it's A Series. Well, I had to go pull because I have an A Series shaft from before, and my previous A Series shaft, I was like, man, it looks just like a little bit different. Like I couldn't put my finger on it, so I had to go pull it off, and it used to just say LAGP. So LA Golf at the top, and you didn't know what the shaft was. You'd have to turn it over and see a really light marking where it said like, A Series mid 60W, and then the flex. So they did switch that up. I kind of like it because then you kind of know, hey, this is an A Series, and they also moved that designation to the bottom or to the graphic side. The other one, it was on the opposite. So on the side that you wanted up, if you wanted no graphics, it had the A Series logo. But this one, they moved it to the logo side. So I like that a lot. But this is a good shaft. I hit it in the A Series previously. I was a fan of it. I thought it was a good feeling shaft, very stable. So I was, I was fine with that. I was good to it. I just wish the adapter was a little easier to read, or they'd put their chart online. I just haven't been able to find it yet on their site. I don't know if maybe they've done it in a video aspect or what, but it would be nice to have all the settings there at least listed. So anyway, took this thing out. I've hit it on the range. I actually had it on the course, played with it. And overall, I'm going to say just overall, it's a really good driver. I think a few people have DM'd me on Instagram, if you want to follow me there, Club Junkie Pod, with a lot of questions about this driver. And I think a lot of them were basically, is this thing substantially straighter, better, more forgiving than everything else? I think this bulge and roll story really does resonate with people of like, maybe this is changing the way the ball is going to fly coming off the face. And I will tell you that it will not stop you from hitting it a fairway over if that's what your swing dictates. But it is overall a very fast, a very low spin, and kind of a mid-launching driver. I think it was I think it's a really solid offering. I think there's a really good driver. Is it necessarily crazy straighter, crazy longer, anything compared to a lot of drivers out there in the market? No, I don't think so. But I think it's very good. And I think it holds up and stands up with a lot of the really good drivers, the big name drivers that are out there right now. So, if you're looking for this to be that thing that's going to cure your swing ailment and stop you from hitting it, a fairway or two over to the right or left, that is not the case. It's not going to do that. And I don't think there's any piece of equipment that really will. But the first drive, when I went and played with it, first drive, hole 10, first hole, I literally get like 0 warm-ups, no range time, anything. I literally go to the first tee and hit, and partly because I'm like the guy who collects skin money, so I'm always, marking down people's name and taking money and all that. So I rarely get to warm up. So first swing, a couple little practice swings to loosen up, and then there we go. The first swing, I hit it really solid. I hit it a little bit high toe. Ball went down, started off high, kind of had this gentle drawback, started kind of like right in the rough on the right side, drew back and almost caught the fairway. It was in the first cut. St. Clair Shores is nice enough to actually have a first cut now. Landed in the first cut, just right of the fairway. But the nice thing about that hole is that one, I played it about 500 times. And two, there's 2 bunkers on the left side, about 30, 40 yards, probably 40 yards short of the green. There's 2 bunkers, fairway bunkers on the left-hand side. And I know when I hit a good drive, I am pretty much in the middle of the second bunker, or the first bunker. And when I'm there, I know I hit a pretty good drive. And this one here, I got it to basically the middle of that fairway bunker. So, even something where I caught it a little high on the toe, it still got up in the air, had a really good flight. And like I said, just a little gentle draw, hit ran a little bit. Granted, it didn't run through the fairway. I probably would have got a few more yards out of it, but it did hit and had a nice drive there. So right where I wanted to be, and middle of the bunker. So solid drive there. The next time I used it was on the par 5, and that one I absolutely crushed. Hit a great drive, pretty much dead centered it. Same thing, big old gentle draw. Came around, started pretty much at my target, and then just drew to the left and ended up in the dead center of the fairway. It was downwind a little bit, so definitely long, but I've hit drives into that same spot before when they were slightly downwind. But again, very long, very straight, and that draw was something that wasn't like, for me especially too, because I get a little over the top and I smother it to hit it left. And sometimes you kind of have to watch those because they hit and they go forever. And this one was gentle enough where it hit and just, as it came to the ground, hit, rolled out, but it wasn't going screaming left, which was really nice. But that was a great drive. Hit it on the center. Really, really good result there. I think I was downwind and had like 170 in or something like that. I mean, it was a good drive. And then I went over to 16, which is kind of the longest par 4 on the course. It's kind of the number 1 handicap. And that one there, I did get quick, smothered it, and I was able to hit it over into the fairway on 6. So, it's one of those where, again, I've been over there before. I've been there a handful of times. Thankfully, had a clear shot at the green, but definitely went further left, than I wouldn't say further left than I would expect. It was a bad swing, but it still got some good distance out of it. I still got it down there far enough, even though it went really far left, it still got far enough down where I had a decent shot in, just a little hybrid that I was kind of in between hybrid and 5-iron, but hit the hybrid and hit it a little long, but a good shot. And then on 17, kind of hit one low, kind of a lower trajectory on that one, on this one on 17. A little bit of a draw as well. I just didn't play it far enough out to the right. The way the tee box is, it sets you up straight at the green, but the left rough comes in to the right a little bit further with the trees. You almost have to hit it out to the right to play the hole. But anyway, played it straight, hit it a little low, got it over the trees and everything fine, but drew into the rough there. That one wasn't too bad or anything like that. It wasn't that far off line. Definitely hit it off the, kind of off the toe there. Still carried down and just had a sand wedge in, which was really nice. So the distance there on the miss hits was pretty darn good. But all these here, I would say, high in the face, ball gets up pretty high. When you hit it pretty flush, I think it's a little more penetrating trajectory than something else. I would say, like, if you're looking for something like an Elite or the QI35 Core or, the DS Adapt X, something in that realm, which is kind of that mid, a lot of forgiveness, but also a lot of speed. It kind of just does everything. And I would put this head kind of in that category. I think it launches just a little bit lower than some of those heads. I would say for me, I don't launch Elite quite as high as some of like the other two. But this one here, I was actually a little bit closer to like QI35 LS and Triple Diamond and stuff like that in terms of launch. I was a little bit flatter with this one. And then also, spin wise, going through when I got back home, I think it was like 2 days later, hitting some balls in my net with my launch monitor, and yeah, spin wise, definitely low, but trajectory a little bit flatter, but it's nice. I could always add a little bit of loft. Now the face angle when you set it down in the standard position, it's just a smidge shut. It's not too bad. It's just a hair shut. I don't know what it's going to look like when you move it up to like that 1.5 or half a degree, whatever it is. If you move it up in the flat setting, it does stay, fairly neutral with just that hair closed face. Cause I did set it in the flat setting to go play. And yeah, I think it's easy to turn over. It's easy to hit a draw. I really never flirted with the right at all or even felt it. And then even when I moved into hitting this thing on, between Full Swing Kit and my Bushnell Launch Pro, when I look at the dispersion chart on all these, everything is a little bit left of target. Nothing is right. So it is easy to square up. I feel like it's easy to square up, but it definitely is something that comes out a little bit flatter, but it has really good ball speed. I've been kind of doing some fitness stuff to make myself healthier, and I've noticed a little bit of speed kind of coming back with that. And I was seeing some really good ball speed numbers that I hadn't seen all winter starting to show back up. So that was pretty encouraging as well. But overall, I think it's really forgiving. The only thing that I did notice that I'll give it a slight knock for, I noticed like hitting it, on the course, I didn't hit it off the heel, but hitting it off the heel on the launch monitor, I did feel like the ball speed drop there was a little bit more noticeable than it is on the toe. I feel like the toe is super hot. It still really goes. I feel like that lower heel shot, there was just a couple that I hit low heel, and I just kind of looked back and I was at the screen and I was like, man, that number seems just a little bit lower than hitting that, maybe a similar shot with some other drivers. So I feel like the toe's super hot. The heel may not quite be as super hot, but the center to toe is really, really good. And yeah, I mean, the nice thing is, though, it is low spin. So even if you catch it low heel, that number does not climb up. That spin number stays really, really low. So I think people who fade the ball, this thing can be really good to keep things in play, keep a little draw, and keep that spin number down. So really solid. I think out there, I want to hit it some more because it does. With any driver, I mean, the first few swings, out on the course, whatever, I'd love to get a little more comfortable with it. So it's definitely something I'm going to hit more out on the course. You're definitely going to see me use it more. But going into some numbers, so I went and hit it a couple of different range sessions, like I said, a couple of different launch monitors. So this one here, average carry for me was 243. That it actually puts it kind of right around where I hit Triple Diamond TD from Elite, and I think it was, I can't see it now, it's behind the camera, but I was kind of comparing it a little bit, and it's pretty similar to a lot of others, a little farther than the TD Max for me, and then also a little bit shorter than, say, Elite X, a little bit shorter than QI35 LS, but a little bit longer than QI35 Max, basically the same as QI35, so all within a couple yards of each other there. But the spin number, really low. I was at 2478 was my average spin. And honestly, even shots that I felt like I kind of flared him low heel, like kind of got him up. I felt like those balls never saw more than like 2,800. Everything I felt was between, I mean, really on good shots, I felt like I was down near 2,300. And then, as an average over everything, 2478. So under 2,500 or just barely. And that kind of puts me kind of around, Elite Triple Diamond, QI35 LS. I don't know where I have it. I thought I had the Cobra down here. But the G440 LST, it spun for me about 100 RPM, less than that, or right about the, same. So it kind of spins for me like a low spin head, like an LS or low spin head. And then also launch came out a little flatter. And if I hit it a little higher in the face, it definitely got up. But, center shots definitely came out flat. And launch-wise, I was about 11.2 on that one, which is about a degree lower than, say, like I said, the stuff that I can just see real quick is, Triple Diamond Max, Ping G440 Max. It's about a degree and a half shorter than lower launching than those guys. And right along the same line as some of those low spin heads in terms of launch for me. Ball speed was really good, 149.6. Definitely saw some stuff over 150, over 150, which was really good. Saw some 152s, stuff like that. As I said, starting to see some of my speed come back as I've, shed a couple pounds and been able to, and been working out a little bit and feeling a little better. Notice some of that come back. So, 149.6 was the average. Like I said, saw a handful of stuff at 149. The drop off wasn't that bad. Like I said, the only ones was I noticed like a few that I didn't feel I hit that bad on the heel. Saw some stuff that dropped to the low 140s into the 138s, the 9s, that I didn't feel were that badly missed. But this thing here, like I said, up from the center, off toe, all that, it really moves. And I felt like the ball speed was really, really good. So launch 11.2, ball speed 149.6. With an apex of 81 feet. So again, kind of similar to those lower spin heads. And again, hitting a little bit more draw with these things. In my draws, I don't hit high draws. They're kind of lower, more penetrating. So that apex definitely makes a whole lot of sense from what I saw on the course, as well as, hitting stuff in the launch monitor. But 81 feet for that. And then the smash factor averaged out to 147. Which was, again, on par with a lot of stuff there. But overall, I think this driver is really solid. Is it something that is going to, legit change the game? I don't think so yet. Do I think it's solid and holds up against a lot of the big-name drivers out there? For sure. I think it definitely does. And, yeah, I'm excited to go play it some more. So, overall, I think it's really good. The shaft on here, the A-Series, I think is really solid. It's got a good, smooth feel to it. It's almost, in a way, it almost reduces a little too much vibration. Like I feel like it slightly deadens the head. like certain other shafts, I feel like you get a little more feel out of like where you hit it. But this one here, and I felt like that with the other A series too. Like it wasn't quite as responsive as some other shafts, but it felt stable. It never felt like it was like loose or getting away from you. And in terms of mid-launch, I think between that and the head, it'll be interesting if I put a different shaft in here. Which I don't know. I gotta see if I can get another tip or something like that. These things aren't like just available right now, and there's no all fit for it. So right now I'm just kind of stuck with what I've got. But put something else in there. It would be interesting to see, does that head still stay low spin? It's a combination, how things are. But that A-series shaft really, really solid as well. I think, putting that in this head, it's a good combination. I know you can get a Bryson series shaft and some other ones as well, the Gold series in there. So for me, I think honestly, it would be interesting to put a Gold series, add just a little bit of spin for me, and add just a little bit of launch. That could be like a huge thing and be a good matchup in this head for me. So we'll see. But overall, I'm impressed with it. I think it's a good driver. I think it really is. So the problem will be trying to find one to try before you buy it. But I think in terms of doing the online thing, this model felt good for me. Didn't feel like it was anything too crazy. But yeah, a really solid option from LA Golf. So that is the LA Golf driver. Again, mine's a 1211 head, which is the 90 to 109 mile an hour swing. Yeah, it is a solid offering there. So good job, LA Golf. If you go to lagolf.com, you can go check out all the specs, see the other models there, maybe even take that little kind of driver quiz for yourself. But yeah, no, I think it's a good driver. So if you're looking to try it, go check it out. So the next thing we're going to talk about was something else that I've actually been really kind of, I don't know why I was interested. I'm really interested in this thing. So it definitely made it into the bag on League last week. And I've been putting a ton with it down here on my putting mat. So that doesn't say it, it's a putter. So it is the brand new BGT or Breakthrough Golf Technologies Paradox putter. So this is the mallet version. They make a mallet and a blade. But this thing is a brand new putter from BGT. So you'll know BGT, Breakthrough Golf, from the stability putter shafts. They were kind of one of the first guys out there really touting some new technology in a putter shaft. And they have these carbon fiber with aluminum couplers, multi-piece putter shafts that are super stiff, super stable, have very, very little torque. And they have thrown their hat into the actual putter ring. And it is a unique putter. I do have to say, we put photos of this thing up. There's a mallet and a blade. This is the mallet here. I've got the blade as well. But, we put photos up in the Golf Breaks forums. And of course, there was a lot of, kind of kickback of like, man, that thing doesn't, it's definitely different or it's ugly or whatever. And I will say it's different. When you look at this thing, it's got a real high toe, real shallow heel section when you look at the face. And everything is kind of on this angle. And but from address, it kind of just looks like a Fang style putter. From address, it doesn't look bad at all. You don't see the height difference between heel and toe. So that part of it is at address, not a big deal. And again, stuff like this on a putter is a little more recognizable. And drivers, I don't really care. But honestly, once I set it down, I was okay with it. So it's a pretty cool putter. It is a zero torque putter, I think they call it something slightly different. They call it, swing balance technology, but it's zero torque. So basically when you hold it in your hand and nothing is influencing it, the face stays pointed at the target, much like, Lab, Odyssey, Bettinardi, everybody else who's making kind of these zero torque putters. So they're doing that as well. It's kind of the hottest craze. But there's kind of, two things that are different. One, you can get like a stability shaft in it, so super stiff, low torque shaft. And then the other thing too, the main one, is they're using this kind of principle of axis physics kind of thing. And as you look at the putter, and again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the weight in the toe pushed up super high, weight in the heel pushed down super low. And what that does is basically it aligns this weight to kind of the putter's stroke. So not only is it, toe up or lie angle balanced or zero torque, but the way they position the weight is to work with kind of the lie angle of the putter and the person's stroke to make it even more stable and more effective. So, that high toe weighting and low heel, there is a reason for it. It's not just there for cosmetics. So what they're trying to do, and I am no physics major, they kind of explained it to me on a call on, how that, how this was done. And yeah, it's pretty unique, but it kind of makes sense that the angle it's on kind of matches where the shaft is. So, even if you have a little bit of rotation in your swing or you're straight back, straight through, this thing here should be a little bit more stable and keep that face aligned towards the target even more. So pretty interesting that they're throwing some different physics in here. Also some cool stuff. I mean, this thing's 100% milled. It's multi-piece. And I mean, the milling on it looks pretty nice. Everything, the fit and finish is super nice. Everything comes together with no, open seams, anything like that. It's really a nice putter. It's well put together. And for the price, it should be. It's an expensive putter. But BGT did a very nice job with this thing. The face, they kind of showed off some of the tech. I always love seeing tech in the putter, so I'm glad they put the weights that made it all the way through the face. And then they've got kind of this Paradox logo milled into the face for some nice face milling, along with some like kind of 45-degree type angle stuff out on the heel and toe. The top alignment is just kind of 2 dots there. I think it would be nice if they had a few options like a single line or something like that. But 2 dots for now looks really good. And then these silver heavy kind of fangs that add all the weight to the putter are down there as well. So it frames the ball really well. And again, when you set it down and you look at it from address, you do not see the height difference. Everything just looks like a chunky number 7 style putter. So for that, I do like it. Now the blade is a little bit different. It's definitely like a full block. It kind of reminds you of kind of a Seymour putter, one of those old school Seymour putters like Zach Johnson uses. Reminds you of that, but a little different. And then there is just a little bit of forward shaft lean built into this as well. So when you look at it, you can see just a little bit of shaft lean on it. Nothing too dramatic, but it's probably 1 or 2 degrees, something like that. But overall, really good looking. And it's interesting. So when I got it out, when I got them first, of course, it was like a little bit of shock of like, wow, look at this thing. This is definitely different. But then started rolling it, and I'll tell you what, it's a great zero torque putter. I mean, it really does keep the face stable. I was putting around here, down here on my putting mat with it a bunch before I took it to the course. And then, last week I was like, I'm bringing it to the course. And right when I got to the practice green, I always get a little bit there a little bit early. I love to putt and chip around a little bit, especially because I usually have new stuff in the bag. And was putting with this thing here. And it's interesting because the sound inside in my basement on the putting mat was kind of clicky, a little bit loud. And I was like, okay, it's fine. It's got a shallow mill on it. And some people like a little firmer feel, a little bit more audible click. Like that's totally fine. Out on the course, now granted, I was using a slight, I was using a Pro V1X. So I was using Pro V1X in both. Same ball. This thing, honestly, that sound, just, I don't know if it's an indoor thing, kind of dissipated. And the sound it definitely felt softer. That click was definitely harder to hear. And honestly, it was a really nice sound and feel out there outside. And down in my basement wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't a bad thing at all. It was just, like I said, noticeably compared to some other putters that I'd been putting with that maybe have a little deeper milling or something like that. This one here just had a little bit more sound. But out on the course, that open air, nothing to kind of, echo anything or reverberate. This thing actually had a really, really, good sound. It was definitely softer and a nice little kind of, quiet click to it when the ball left the face. It was really easy to hit the center of the club face on this thing. I've used, I've got 3 lab putters. I've got the Bettinardi zero torque. I've got the Jailbird square to square. I've got the PXG Allen. I mean, I've got a lot of zero torque putters. And I do have to say, this one here is very easy to hit the center of the club face, and keeping the face square as long as you're using kind of light grip pressure from me and just letting the putter kind of do its thing. It worked really well. And I was kind of really amazed at how frequently I hit the center, because with this kind of shallow milling, you did get a little feedback of, when you missed a little bit, especially, out on the toe is where I typically miss, or a little bit low on the face. You felt a little bit firmer feel on there. And I felt like I was hitting the center of the face just over and over again. And that doesn't happen for me. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a good putter, but I'm okay. But I don't hit the center a lot. Like, I do miss it out on the toe a little. I kind of come from out to in and kind of hit it on the toe. And this one here, I literally felt like I was really hitting the center of the face really, really well. Now, for me, I was kind of, using this thing as, trying to get the lie angle the way it should be, get the putter to sit flat, and then just trying to straight through it. And it really worked. It almost kind of felt like I was kind of bracing ish and really stiff, and the hands were the pendulum, and I wasn't moving much, but it was working. I made a ton of putts. So on the practice green, made a bunch of putts, but also everything that was long, I was really just kind of rolling up near the hole. And with a lag putting, typically with a new putter, sometimes lag putting's a little interesting, especially with like zero torque, something a little bit different than traditional. Lag putting's tough. I was able to get things close to the hole and within a couple feet with zero problems. And then anything short, like I said, when I was out there in the course, I had at least I don't know how many 3-ish footers, 2 to 3 footers for pars that I needed to make to shoot to make pars, and I made all but one of them. Like I said, the only one that I missed was me on number 18. Just I opened on 18, just opening the face up and just missing it right, and that was all me. Like I knew I did it, but every other putt, super easy. It kind of built confidence really fast, and even the putts that I missed, it was more. The ball just didn't break back as much as I thought or anything like that. I felt the speed control was really good. Whether a short putt, long putt, I felt like I didn't leave anything too short. Those balls that, you would sometimes hit and they'd just come up that rotation short. Those balls fell and stuff like that. On the par 5, hit the green in 2, but I was probably about, I don't know, 12 to 15 feet to the right, just under the hole, and the green slopes heavy from back to front. So played it up, and let it come down. And I honestly was like a quarter of a rotation from that ball going in. But this thing's easy to square up. I thought it was, this thicker top line on it. I think it kind of works like another form of alignment that you can kind of see, is it too shut or open? But I thought it was really easy to line up. I felt like the putter actually offered some really good feel, and I felt like it was stable. For everything that I hit, it was easy to get that ball online and make a lot of putts. So I was really impressed with this thing. I think it works really well. Call it the way they do the weighting in the head and all that. But it was a really, really impressive putter, and I putted very well with it. So it is something that while it is very non-traditional looking, it is a putter that worked really, really well. So definitely something if you're looking for kind of that zero torque style putter and something to try, and maybe some other models haven't jumped out at you. Check out the Paradox from Breakthrough Golf. It really is a solid offering. It's really well done, and I was really impressed with it. Like I said, I've hit a lot of zero torque putters, and this one was really good. It surprised me. So definitely something that I'm going to keep playing with, keep messing with. I can't wait to get to some faster greens as well to see how it goes. I feel like it'll shine there a little bit too, because the stroke doesn't have to be very long, but overall, a really, really good putter that performed really well. So that is a Breakthrough Golf Paradox, the LA Golf Driver, both really solid. So that's all I've got today. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Play some golf if you can. And we'll talk next week, see what comes up, let you know how league goes this week. But have a good one, and we'll see you later.